I noticed something about the seemingly sturdy looking aluminum plate as I was preparing to put several hundred pounds of steel on it. I'll put an indicator on the underside to show you what I mean. Now watch what happens when I take 40 or so pounds off of the table. That's nearly 10 thousandths of deflection for a very light load. Let's take a closer look at why. The base plate is completely unsupported across most of its length. The solution? I'm going to reinforce it with these 3 cross members, which don't actually touch the plate, but support these 6 smaller pieces of steel that can be flattened on the mill and then welded into place to ensure a nice flat surface for the plate to rest on. The rear and the vertical column will be supported by these 2 thicker steel reinforcements, which will hold the 1-inch thick steel plate that the column will mount to, hopefully holding everything nice and secure. Since I'm doing this myself, I need some help for my roof trusses. I taught myself how to tie a new knot just for this. I went with the bunt line hitch. Thanks netknots.com. I realize now that even though the paracord I purchased was rated for 130 pounds, it was nylon and was going to stretch. There's nothing I can do about it now though. The frame has to be removed in order to prep it for welding. Now to prepare the cross members. I took a few measurements and wrote a quick program to make a notch on each side of each end that would put these supports just about 1/32 of an inch below the plate. Remember, we don't want them touching the plate because they certainly aren't flat. They will just support the more precision steel tubing later on. I used the mill to make all of the precision supports exactly the same size as the distance between the cross members. We'll find out later this wasn't really a good idea. After welding the cross members in place, I could face the top of each of the smaller supports in preparation for welding. I was having difficulty getting the supports to sit flush against the aluminum base plate. It turns out the cross members moved ever so slightly during the welding process, which wouldn't allow them to sit properly. I realized this when the front supports went in flawlessly because they aren't constrained by metal on both sides. So I went back to the mill to take several thousandths off each. I can always fill in the slight gaps with weld anyway. With everything tack welded, I can fully weld each support. I was careful to only weld a small section at a time and always followed up with a weld in the opposite corner to try and eliminate any warping due to heat and weld contraction. Also, I only welded on the sides of the support, so any movement would hopefully be in the side-to-side direction and not up and down, where it would cause the aluminum plate to sit less than flat. So that's it for now. A test fit looks good, but there's more fabrication to be done in the near future. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, you can do so below. If you want to follow along with the build, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to be awesome, consider helping make these videos better by supporting this project on Patreon. A huge thanks to those who have been kind enough to throw in a few bucks so far. Thanks for watching. Yeah.